All right, what is going on? So yesterday I had a great client of mine give me two wonderful lake home referrals. Okay. And lake home referrals that are kind of in my sweet spot. So they're in the southwest portion of the Twin Cities metro. Let me show you on a map here. Off of Lake Minnetonka. I'm not saying Minnetonka is bad, if that's just kind of its own thing. So I'm going to set up their searches today, and most of the time I'm just going to text them as options come up, and as I find things out from off market, I'll text them. But I also set up these MLS searches just to cover all my bases and make sure that I'm completely up to date on these things. And these are also, this is actually how I track myself. So I have this exact same search set up for myself. And I figured that it would be fruitful as I go through the different lakes for people to learn about all the lakes in the Southwest Metro. So here we have a map of the Twin Cities. Okay, so this is Minneapolis, St. Paul, the Twin Cities. And when I talk about the Southwest, I mean this corridor kind of right here, right? I'll even kind of draw it right. So kind of right here, right? This is the Southwest that I'm talking about in the different lakes. And we're actually north of, we're going to be north of the river. Here's the Mississippi River coming through here. And so if anybody in Minnesota ever asks you north or south of the river, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about the Mississippi River here. So we're going to be in the southwest north of the river. Okay, so this is the river coming through Chaska and Shakopee. So we're actually going to be honing in right on this area here. And so I figured that I would put my filters on and go through the different lakes, and you can learn a lot about, you know, the different lakes that are off of Minnetonka. And I'll make a different, here's Lake Minnetonka here. Okay, it's 15,000 square. It's 15,000 square acres, or acres, sorry. And it's its own video. It's its own thing. There's a lot of great reasons to get onto that. But today we're not talking about Lake Minnetonka, so I don't want to not call it the elephant in the room. We'll do that at a later date. What I'm talking about is the other smaller lakes, kind of in the south area here that I'll sprinkled in, and I'll tell you about them, which ones are full rec, which ones aren't, the pros and cons of all of them, and the pricing. So let's get started. I'm going to remove this right away. Okay, I'm going to go to my criteria. This is the MLS. So first, I've got it all filtered here. I've got, you know, actives, coming soons, not available, pendings, closed, so that we can see everything that's kind of been happening in the last year. And then when I set these up, I'll take the closed, pendings, and not available for showings off. But as far as this video goes, we'll start filtering for that. Okay, so we're going to add, the first filter we're going to add is, you know, it's waterfront or not. And you have to be careful with these filters. Okay, this is an agent thing, but if you over filter, the input forms, or what we use to fill out when we get a listing, is tons of pages, and not everybody uses all the check boxes. So if you over filter with too many of these things that people don't use, you're going to end up missing opportunities. So this lakefront one is going to be one that's going to get missed a lot. So we'll leave that one alone, and we're going to click lakefront here. Okay, so these are different types. We're not looking for deeded access. We're not looking for river. We're not looking for views. We're not looking for docks today. So all we want is lakefront. Okay, so we're going to click that filter, and we're going to see the map and what that does here. Okay, so filling in. Okay, so it's starting to fill in. This is the last year. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go north of the river. I'm going to go right here. There's nothing really outside of this. This is the 494, 694 Beltway, okay, right here. So that's what people talk about in the Minneapolis area. So, and then I'm going to filter out Minnetonka as well, okay? So, because we're not doing that, so we're actually going to do acres, and we're going to do lake acres, okay? So we're going to go 0 to 4,000 acres, okay? So that's going to filter out Minnetonka, because Minnetonka is more than 4,000 acres. Lake Waconia here, being on the bigger side, is going to be the biggest one that you're going to see here. That is still under 4,000 acres. Okay, so the main ones that we're going to highlight here, we're going to start from the east, and we're going to come over here. This is Lotus Lake. It's a very, very nice lake, and this is the city of Chanhassen here. Okay, what's so cool about Chanhassen is that it's a nice central spot. This is also where Prince lived before he passed away. But you have all the amenities of the city right in Chanhassen here. And this lake, when you go through these neighborhoods, you don't even know that this lake is here. It's hidden behind here. But it's a wonderful lake. I think I sold 3 properties on Lotus Lake last year. So this one, and then this one up here. So 3 in the last year. So this is going to be one that we're definitely going to target. And as you can see, the pricing, so we've got this one. So this up here is actually interesting. So there's a shared dock in this neighborhood here. The shared dock is here. In this neighborhood here, there's 5 of them that share it. So that's why you have pricing that's kind of depressed. The frontage isn't that great because this is all built in, but you can still, I believe this is on the shared dock, but it also may not be, and they may need to do a really long dock here. Okay. So, but pricing here, this is going to be on one of the high sides of Lotus. We have 175 with that shared access. This home over here has a road between it. So it's got split frontage. This is a really cool way to get on the lake for a nice more cost-effective version. We're in the nines, but then you also have, a nice dock over on this side of it. Okay. And then we go over here. This one was a tear down. Okay, or at least a big remodel. So that one's sold. This is pretty much lot value over here. It's close at the 1.2. And then here's another one that was actually finished. This is a really nice one at 1.8. And we actually, the years before, there was a couple at around 2. So a full-on budget for Lotus Lake is probably up to 2.5, but you're going to be find a lot of really good options in that $1 million to $1.5 million range. Okay. So that's Lotus Lake. We're going to make sure that one's included. Lake, and there are some frontage on here, but it's, I mean, this is just a more of a park to hang out. You're not going to put your boat on there. Let's come over to Lake Riley. We don't see as many come for sale on Lake Riley. It's a cool little small lake here. Still right in Chanhassen. You can see this one from the road, not like Lotus. But we'll see 1 or 2 on here, and you're going to see pricing from, again, 2.5, and this one's at 930. This closed in the last year. Okay. So moving on from Lake Riley. And I may miss some today, you guys. I'm just kind of being brief. Before we get over to Bavaria, Hazeltine. So this is right on the golf course. These are just townhomes, I believe. Yeah. You're not going to see much frontage of I mean, you're going to see some here, but it's kind of something that you wouldn't be shopping for if you're looking for a nice full rec lake. Okay, let's go up to Lake Minnetonka. Now this lake turns quite regularly. We actually, our team actually just closed this one just yesterday. But this is the Arboretum. It's nice about that. So you can walk right across the street to Arboretum. And also really close to Excelsior in the shoreward area where you can kind of go pop right there. Oh, I missed one. I'll go back to it. But you're going to see pricing, all the way from the low, just slightly under 1 million up to 2 million, especially on the north end here. There's some really nice, I mean, honestly, all throughout here. It's nice, but there's some really nice ones up here. So just close for what, 2.5 this year. Okay. A nice full rec lake. And we're going to go back here to Christmas Lake. Christmas Lake, also pretty slow turnover here. People stay here and they live here for a long time. Fully recreational lake, very, very nice. But your entry to Christmas is going to be 1.5, and that's going to be really tough to find. You're going to be probably better suited being at 2 to 4 on Christmas, just more expensive. Let's keep cruising here. Lake Bavaria options in here. You can see in the last year nothing has showed up. Okay, but they are out there, and your budget's probably going to be up to 2.5, 3 probably. But we haven't really seen much go for sale there. Still full rec. Wasserman, this one's kind of in between neighborhoods. It is recreational, but you can see there's not as much frontage as there is. Pearson's, this one's full rec, and you can get onto this one on a pretty decent budget. The last one here was 7. This one took a long time to sell. It was a really funky house, but still worth your while. All right, let's keep going west. Where's Reeds in here? Reeds Lake is here. Tiny little lake. It's like, I think it's 90 acres. But still full rec. You're just gonna have some short runs if you're gonna do skiing, stuff like that. Probably better with a pontoon. And now we're out in actually, let's just get context here. Now we're out in Waconia as we've kind of gone west. And we'll do Brant because a lot of people don't know about Lake Brant. This is a full rec lake, but it is small. Okay, this is right downtown in Waconia, and you can't even really see. You can kind of see it when you come around, Highway 30 here through town. But you're kind of focused on the view to Lake Waconia because it's really beautiful from right here. But you can kind of see it through these reeds, kind of. But it's nice. So you have frontage along here. You don't even see these until you actually drive down. You have no idea they're here. I believe some of these sold for in the 7s actually a couple of years ago, but it's been a while since these have appeared. And then over here, this is a really nice row of homes. These are probably 9 to 2 million, somewhere in there. And then Lester Point, this is a cool area here. This one had a lot of cool stuff going on. I actually showed this one last year, and that was a lot of value for 1.3. But smaller lake, there's no public access, so you got to get along with your neighbors or drive through your yard to get your boat out there. And then actually right here, there's a couple of houses in here that have dock access through the reeds, and then all through here they have a channel, you can see. Okay, all right, let's get to Lake Waconia. This is 3,000 acres. It's definitely the biggest lake when you're talking about the Southwest Metro, and it offers a lot. There's a full marina here. Okay, they actually plow for ice fishing right now. You can rent pontoons, you can do all that stuff, so you can really get onto this lake recreationally. And there's also a restaurant here as well. So you have Lola's Lake House, which is right here. It's a full restaurant with slips. Okay, and this beach right here, this is a really nice public beach that you can be a part of. And they're actually building a new play set and playground there. Oh, and an island that has a bunch of trails you can see here. So you can actually walk trails, there's camping, all this kind of stuff like there. But Lake Waconia, you can get onto it really cost effectively. Some of the west end here. Now these were actually probably teardowns, rebuilds. So the lot of this one is 812. And then out on the terrace, this one was a good deal too. Nice remodel at 960. But then you're seeing this one at 1.5, 950, and then this is kind of probably some of the worst frontage you have on the lake. Still good, but it's really, really shallow in this bay here. So it's tough to get a boat in and out, especially with the drought that we've been having. Along here, pricing is going to be up to, probably up to 3 on Lake Waconia, unless you get some of the big estates here that aren't going to sell. I mean, then these are 5-6 million around here. But it's also a really great lake to take a hold of. But as you can see, all these lakes offer things sub 1 million, which is a theme that you're seeing. And that's what's very, very attractive to these, that they're all fully recreational, nice lakes that you can get on right around 1 million, a little bit more. And if you really want to have a super nice house, you can, 2 to 2.5 million, which if you're looking at Lake Minnetonka, it was going to be 5, 6, 7 million, right? So you can get a lot of value on these smaller lakes in the Southwest Metro. But they come and go, and a lot of these things you don't even know about. So I'm going to refine this search down. Take the closed outs, pendings, to actives. We're going to take contingencies out. And this is what we're left with, is the one on Lotus. And this is just a pond. So this is what the filter I didn't want to do. This is just a pond. We're actually going to filter this down to it's 90 plus acres. And then we're going to have to take out Lake Minnetonka. Not the chain, we're the chain. Let's see if Minnetonka. See if Minnetonka shows up in there. Oh, that's not even working. All right, well, I'm going to filter out Lake Minnetonka here. Maybe go, that's what we'll do. We'll do 90 to 4,000. There we go. That'll fix it for us. Okay. Okay. All right, let's make sure that we're doing this right. These are no good. I'm just going to leave these in because I want to be careful because this is just a marsh. But as I filter these through, that's going to do. I'm going to get rid of these. Okay, cool. All right, fair enough. So that's what I'm looking at. Hope there's some value in this, you guys. I do this every day, but as you can see, there's a lot of lake and not anything for sale. These two don't even exist. And so out of all these small lakes, we only have one option right now. And this option, they're fleeting. They come and go very fast. So if you miss them, you can wait months. It's actually been a month and a half through the winter before we've seen anything on these lakes appear. So if this is something that you guys want to do, let's have a conversation. I'm shopping every single day, and lake homes are my business, big time. I love it. So this is really fine. There's actually more lakes to be had when you look at the broader metro area. A lot of them that you wouldn't know about. And so if you're thinking about it, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the video. This is how I shop. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. See you later.